about to break into Mitch's best buffalo sauce. That jingle's in my head again. It is Blues to Do TV. Thanks for joining us. It is a Sunday afternoon after the 4th of July. Bunny and I are together, and we're going to work on all kinds of fun stuff for today's show. We're broadcasting on Duwamish land in Seattle's Georgetown area from the lab right here at the little auditorium in the back at the Seattle Drum School, 1010 South Bailey at the Seattle Drum School of Music. I do have coffee in there. I don't know what happened to the treats.
We were supposed to share those? I ate them.
I don't know what happened. This is Blues to Do TV, a live streaming podcast. Bunny Brown is the voice of the American Blues Network. She is James Brown's niece. She's also inducted into the National Black Radio Hall of Fame along with her papa. That's a cool thing. Nobody has that to put in their cap. So congratulations on that again.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So this podcast is sponsored by Mitch's Best Buffalo Sauce. Hi, Mitch. He's right there on the poster.
Hi.
And he plays a great harmonica. And he's also our sponsor. We'd love more sponsors so we can put together the archives on the Blues to Do website. There's so many old shows and great interviews and television shows.
Fantastic shows to come.
That's right. And all the audio
Our
from
lineup
those.
is getting bigger and better and greater, and I love it.
I know we're
It's
getting
good.
more viewers, more listeners.
That's right.
Thank
you.
We're scraping the audio. I'm getting that put on my website. So bear with us, but do support the project. BluesToDo.org is where we're trying to start our new stuff, and you can help us. Like I said, open up those archives of Blues to Do Monthly, Blues to Do TV, my past radio shows, including my playlist for all my. I kept all my playlists, and those are some magical shows. I tell you what, we made a connection, my people and me. So all the interviews, the new podcast, like you said, bathroom reviews. We've got a stash of those.
Yes.
I didn't bring one this week, but do you have some blues prevention? What wisdom did you gather this week? Or maybe over a lifetime?
Well, I'm so blue. I really don't want to talk about it. The Supreme Court has disappointed me
Told you
to
they
a
were
point
extreme.
that
I said extreme, and they went
am
beyond extreme.
The Supreme Court is not supreme anymore
No.
to many people,
No.
especially people of my color. And now, Biden, I love him, but wow, we don't know what to do right now.
Right, and it's just months before the election, so
And
we
it's
really have
only
to
months,
gather.
So that is giving. That's the biggest blues.
It's the
thing
United
we got
States,
going.
right? United we stand,
Yes.
divided we
Yes.
fall. So we really got to
Yes.
come together.
Yes.
And I think it's time for a woman to lead. I think men have shown their colors, and they have just
Yes.
not been courageous enough.
Yes,
And
yes.
women are bad,
Yes.
and especially Kamala, she's got all the training she needs, I think.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I really think we already made that choice. And we just have to
Yes.
go forward. I have my
Yes.
passport ready, though.
Exactly.
I'm not messing around.
Exactly.
It says right there.
I was
the
trying to decide
Constitution.
where are you going to go? Where?
Right.
You know, it's
It
like
has
throw
all
a
the
dart
reasons.
at the map. But
It has all the pictures and all the reasons. I mean, we the people. It's all right here. Check your
Yes.
passport if it's not up to date.
Yes.
Do put a
and
little
vote.
effort into it.
And Marlee.
And please vote.
If people have not noticed, it's streaming online everywhere. The 2025 agenda for the Trump presidency.
They're not lying, and
They're
they're just
taking Social Security.
right.
They're taking Medicare.
They don't care about us old
Mainly what
people.
it means to women
Right.
is
Women.
if you did not make enough money at this age, you need to have a kid or somebody with a house who will let you live there.
Right,
And we need the youngsters to understand you're not voting for just a presidency. You're voting for us. You're voting to save us.
Whether you want a
women
dictatorship or
on
not, too.
Social Security from their
Exactly,
husbands.
exactly.
You're voting for your grandmother. You're voting for your mom.
So many
Because
reasons to
so
vote.
many reasons to vote. And my message is get your grandchildren. If they're 18, what do you want, Granny? I want you to register and vote for me.
Well, I was going to say that. You have to ensure that your vote is not suppressed by making sure you're registered, making double, triple
Exactly.
check that registration,
Exactly.
because they're trying to clean the voter rolls, especially in
right.
places like Georgia.
Exactly.
I don't know about Washington State, but it could definitely happen here. So I would just double check. Just make sure that when you go to vote, it's not suppressed. I mean,
That's right.
is a huge problem,
That's
and people don't
that's
even
a gigantic
acknowledge.
problem that
Yeah.
no one is paying attention to. We already know it's going to be chaos regardless of
Some people are predicting that.
how we vote.
Yeah.
But yeah, we need the young people to show up. And like I say, my point is you're not voting for just a president. You're voting for your grandmother
Right.
and your mom.
Right.
You're voting for people who are disabled. You're voting. You're voting. You're voting. And this one, I think, is more important than the rest.
I thought about this a while back. We should require every citizen to vote. I mean, no messing around here. We just have to require it. 30 million people did not vote in the last presidential
That's right.
election,
That's
and
right.
probably mostly poor and low-wage people who are never spoken to. They're never addressed. Now, there was a march. I mentioned it in my previous shows here, our previous shows, June 29th in D.C. Did you even hear about it on the news? Okay,
No.
It was a low-wage people, poor people and low-wage people moral march.
Yes.
Reverend Barber.
Yes.
Awesome guy. He's
But
carrying on the work of Dr.
They
King.
do not advertise. They do not recognize that.
They don't even cover it in the
You
news.
understand what I'm saying?
And it's like, 30 million people would sway the election without a doubt.
Exactly.
So show up and
Exactly.
vote. Show
Another
people how
thing
powerful you are
that
by
I-
voting yourself.
Another thing that I
Don't get me
truly believe in, because what you add this factor, if a felon can run for the presidency of the United States, then every felon in prison should have the right
To vote, you think?
If that were possible.
Right. Well, and we have 3 branches of government. If you're not aware of civics, if
Exactly.
you weren't taught civics in school, it's been
Exactly.
discontinued in lots of schools. So there's a lot of people who don't know civics. There are 3 branches of government. The judicial, that's like the Supreme Court part, the executive, which is the presidential part, and then all of our voted representatives, all our senators and legislators at the
Exactly.
city council level.
Exactly.
Those are the people that get the work done, that make
Yes.
and that's all we have anymore.
Yes.
That is all we have. So we have to vote.
We the people.
It is required.
Exactly.
It's
So when you're going
not
for
an
to
option.
vote for the presidency, and that's a major thing, but keep in mind the mayor, the city council, the governor, all of that matters to what the whole tree represents.
right.
You understand?
It's 3 branches, and if you
3
don't have
branches.
power in one, then you
Exactly.
go to the other.
Exactly.
Now, there was an election last week. Jamal Bowman was going against a guy named Latimer over there. I can't remember where it was. Latimer spent $16 million from AIPAC on a congressional race. Now, that's the most anybody's ever spent on it's not even a senatorial race. It's a congressional
Exactly.
race. So it's like smaller territory, and they're talking 16 million, and that's why Jamal Bowman lost. I mean, there's no question. It was overwhelming amount of money. Now, money should
Exactly.
not pay for politics
That's
here.
right.
I've
In
been
the
saying this for
USA.
decades. Get the money out of
Yes,
politics.
yes,
Campaign
yes.
finance reform just doesn't sound sexy enough.
Yes.
But really, that's what we need.
Yes,
That is
exactly.
totally what we need. Campaign finance
Exactly.
reform. This is a bunch of, don't even get me started.
Yes, and it's really giving. It's not only giving women the blues; it's giving everybody the blues
right.
now. And it's like
Exactly.
it's either or, and if you go or, it's like, wow, you really don't love this country.
Or you don't understand what your vote, the power of your vote, and blues prevention is truly your vote right now. Your
That's
vote
right.
is your blues prevention. So
That's right.
step up, people. Please do that.
Please
Now,
do.
we have some cool guests, and we're going to get some better guests as well. I mean, better. What am I saying? Everybody's equal. There's so
yes.
many guitar players. I went into a guitar store in West Seattle, base Northwest, and I just asked him. I said, "So, who do you think the best guitar players in town?" So I got a list, and I'm gonna hit these.
great.
And I know these peeps. I know
Let's see.
Aaron Jones. We know
Yes.
Mike McCready. I got to get him in here. There's
Yes.
no reason why we can't get Mike
Yes.
McCready from
Hey,
Pearl Jam
Mike.
in here. Gary Westlake was the guy who hooked me up to all these names, which I knew some of them. Tim DeJulio is one new to me, so I'm going to try and get him. Kathy
Yes.
Moore, I know about her. She can
Yeah, oh,
play. Everybody
yes.
mentions her first.
Yes,
Jeff
yes.
Fielder, of course, he plays. He's played the Moore, all kinds of places.
Yes.
So we had a great guest last week, Jimmy James.
Yes.
Awesome interview. It
Oh,
went
he
for a
was
full
such
hour.
talker. He's exciting.
We're almost
You
taking
know.
a breather this week
I know.
because that was heavy. I mean, we could have him on numerous times and tell stories. And I
Yes.
know he's busy, so I really appreciated that. That was a very generous move of him to be on
Yes.
our show. And we're going to bring him back.
Yes.
So if you'd like to be on the show, if you'd like to play here at the Seattle Drum School, you got some options. It is an intimate performance space. It's beautiful. It's perfect. It's also kind of funky. It's good for a
Yes.
private party. The bathrooms are right down the hall. We got birthdays, live concerts, new release parties, baby showers. I mean, it's a little hot today, but we got fans, and I got a block of ice in front of that fan.
Bachelor
it's
parties.
a little bit of air conditioning, live concerts, whatever you got. Recitals. We do recitals here. The second
Yes.
Sunday, which is next Sunday, they're going to have the kids do a concert. It's really fun.
Oh,
It's totally
yes,
fun to
yes,
watch.
yes.
And it's not money. We'll take your donation at the door, but it's a free event. Mojam Youth Sessions also happen on the second Sunday at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. So all kinds of lessons taking
Yes.
place here at the Seattle Drum School of Music, and we are grateful to be able to do this show here. Thank you to Christian and to KZ and to Bunny and everybody for helping us pull this off. Now, it's about quarter after. Let's do our sponsor message. Well, yes, indeed. Mitch's Best Buffalo Sauce. Really good for summertime when you're barbecuing. You want to put that on at the
yes.
very end because it's got butter in
Ah,
it and
yes.
stuff. You don't want to burn it. But yes, after you get your passport all straightened out, get yourself a bottle of Mitch's, and we'll get that jingle together.
I
He's awesome.
did Mitch's Best Buffalo Sauce for 4th of July.
What'd you put
I
on
put it on over some ribs. Oh my, yes.
Now, do you cook it after, or did you just?
No, I did
put it on
like
top.
I did my ribs because I'm from the South, and then I layered it with the buffalo sauce, and then I did it maybe another 5 minutes and let it soak into the meat. Oh, I mean, out of this world. So if you hadn't tried it, you must try it.
Good tip.
Yes.
And there's the code to scan if you want to hook up to Mitch directly. It's got. Yeah, we're ready. Good flavor.
Mitch's Best Buffalo Sauce. Mitch's Best Buffalo Sauce. Well, the sauce boss says you've tried the rest. Well, you'll be back 'cause this one's best. Mitch's Best Buffalo Sauce.
Oh, yes, and it is our sponsor. Thank you very much to Mitch and Mitch's Best Buffalo Sauce. With just the right heat and just the right bite, this rich and creamy sauce made with all real butter tastes great on everything except dessert. Handmade in small batches, it's made like a gourmet French sauce from the South. Tastes great on any chicken dish, including wings. It's also great on any seafood, roasted vegetables, and many other foods. Available locally at QFC, Metropolitan Markets, Hagen Markets, and most fine meat shops in the Puget Sound area. Order directly from Chef Mitch, the sauce boss, at
And you hear when they say
mitchesfoods.com.
South, so dirty South, you guys must try this. It's a new thing, and you guys will love it.
Yeah, so we appreciate his sponsorship. We're looking for more because, it's not a free event. Every Sunday we do this and put a lot of effort into it. We also have to pay the engineer, and Seattle Drum School really appreciate them allowing us to have this space. So for the rest of our show, let's talk about various events going on. What else you got? You got other stuff?
Z. We
Lovely.
have been missing Z and Conrad with
have.
Omega. And they will be at the Raw Room July 15th.
Cool.
That is top of my calendar.
Okay.
I love her. I love her sound. And Conrad is one of the best drummers I've seen ever. So
he's preferred in
Yes.
this town.
Yes.
So the Royal Room is 7:15, and that's Omega.
Yes, Omega. And that'll be on the 15th of this month.
Right on, right on.
Yes.
Now, I know we also have a birthday coming up for Leslie Stardrums Milton. He's going to be celebrating up at the Muse, I believe, on the 27th. Am I right? Yeah. So check that date. The Muse is also the location of Duffy Bishop's next show. If you missed the one at Aurora Borealis, which I know you did, you were busy for the 4th, but the 6th, she had a big show there at Aurora Borealis. I had to miss it too. I had some other stuff going on, so unfortunately. But the next show for her coming up, Conway Muse, 13th of July, and I did do a bathroom view. It's a lovely bathroom with organic products in the women's room and everything.
Cool.
So look for that. Duffy Bishop on the 13th. Now, we've got more calendar coming up. Greg Adams and East Bay Soul. Now, he helped to start Tower of Power. He'll be at Jazz Alley with his own band the 16th and 17th of this month. West of the Waterway in Tacoma, another show for Duffy Bishop on the 18th of July. And the Winthrop Festival happens that following weekend, 19, 20, 21. Now, that's an annual event. Happened for at least 3 decades. I used to MC it when it was early on, and for the Blues to Do It was one of our biggest advertisers, so they helped to support the start of Blues to Do, and we helped to start their support.
Cool.
So, yeah, before the internet.
Yes. Right.
It sort of seems like, what? You think, oh yeah, it wasn't too long ago when the Winthrop Festival started, and so this year lineup is great. Galactic, Eric Gales. He's been compared to Hendrix. He's one of the finest guitar players out there. Dwayne Dupsy and the Zydeco Hellraisers. Now, his daddy was a Zydeco player, so I think it's Dupsy, but Dupsy is how they... anyway, you could probably say it different in the South and different here.
Yes.
A group called The Record Company. They got some great write-ups. Colin James. He's been a favorite in the Northwest for decades. Diggin' Dirt is another group. LaRonda Steele and Family. LaRonda is Portland's new Linda Hornbuckle. She's a great vocalist.
Hot thing.
And Linda passed, but LaRonda used to sing backups for her, and so she's got what it takes. And her family all sing, so they're going to do a show. Chris O'Leary sounds like B.B. King. White guy sounds like B.B. King. Leon Timbo, I can say that. Duffy Bishop will also be there, like I said. Too Slim and the Tail Draggers, always at Winthrop every year. And the Methau Juke Joint All-Stars. They started a Methau Valley Juke Joint band. Cool.
Right.
Cool. Right on. So, yeah, it's a funky...
funky good time.
A funky good time. Galactic headlining Winthrop this year. And then later, Flight Path, I heard they got broken into over the 4th. So I don't know what they lost, but that's like our favorite little spot. A good owner. Put a lot into his sound systems. I sure hope none of that got stolen, but I'm kind of thinking that's what they were in there for. So really sending our love out to Dan at the Flight Path.
Yeah.
And
he's such a cool guy, and he just fits in.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even know he was the owner.
Oh,
of
he
the
can
joint
sing, he can
until
drum.
Yes, and he would get on
His
stage
daddy was
and
a
he
drummer.
does
He is a
everything.
drummer.
Wow. Sending love out to you.
So yeah, we're gonna be there on the 26th for Grown Folk with Dave Holden Jr. and Phyllis Talley and more. And that Grown Folks, we're gonna be interviewing them. We're gonna get them on the show.
Yes.
Also mentioned the Nubian Fest in Everett on the 27th. Again, Grown Folks with David Holden Jr. and Phyllis Talley. We had so much fun interviewing her too. If you want to check that show out, that was a fun show.
And to make the cycle happen, I spoke with Ron Holden. Ron Holden is David's cousin, who was my sister's bestest friend, and he was working with my uncle James Brown. As a matter of fact, when he shot up the studio, Ron called Regina's like, you guys need to talk to your uncle. He just shot up the studio. We're like, he did what? Yes, but he called, and they have a big family reunion coming up. I think next month he's going to come in. And, so David, I was like, okay, this is your cousin. When he said Holden, I'm like, okay, I know this family.
Right.
And the whole family has been in music.
Jimmy Holden, part of Red House, and just part of the Reputations back in the day of the Scarlet Tree. I mean, I've heard the Holden name in Seattle every bit of time I put in here. And Oscar Holden on the cover of Jackson Street After Hours, which is the definitive book. If you haven't read it, it's like if you want to know Seattle jazz history, That's the book.
That's the book to read.
Paul DeBarros, great journalist in Seattle. If you ever hear a quote from him, it's spot on. He's a great journalist. And he wrote that book. He's also, I think he's working on a second book. I don't know. Maybe I'm rumoring, but I think I heard that. Anyway, so yeah, looking forward to more Jackson Street After Hours and more from the Holden family.
Yes,
I think
yes.
there's Darnell. Is it Darnell? She's a
it-
singer as well. So
yes,
the
yes.
generations are following
Yes,
in footsteps,
yes.
which is great to
Yes,
see.
and I'm sure they're going to have a great family reunion. We wish them the best. Maybe we can
Crash it?
take a ferry over
Oh,
to
I
the
think so.
island, and say hi.
I think we should crash that bunny.
Watch out, Ron.
Here we
David.
go. The Acoustic Blues Festival in Port Townsend is my all-time favorite, and I will sleep in my car to go to that one. It's a week-long event, and it's lessons, and it's incredible, unmatched experience for me anyway. Acoustic Blues Festival, the workshops for the week, the festival on the weekend. It's worth it just to go up for the weekend.
Right.
July 29th through August 4th. I'm not telling you that I'm going to be out of town, but I'm going to be out of town.
Okay.
That's like, don't tell people. Oh, yeah, no kidding. Remlinger Farms in Carnation is going to be the site of Buddy Guy's final show. Who knows? He keeps getting offered more money, so I think
Yeah,
he'll
he's like,
keep touring.
this is the last one.
Chris Stone, Kingfish will be opening on the 24th at the Remlinger Farms in Carnation. That's a 5:30 show start. And look for Poverty Bay Blues Festival. They just started advertising on my computer. I don't know. I should get some money out of them, huh? In Des Moines. Poverty, I don't think so. They all got big, rich boats over there. Anyway, the Poverty Bay Blues Festival, I'm glad they're doing it. August 26th, a great lineup, too, in Des Moines. And then Bumbershoot. So
Bumper shoot.
you got more, too. I know you got more on your calendar.
Oh,
What
man.
else?
Like I said, Lonnie Williams is going to start appearing in Everett, Washington. Sherry's Fire Pit.
Okay.
And we hadn't set the date yet, but it's going to be awesome. It's a beautiful setting, beautiful place, our age audience. So I said, Lonnie and the Now and Then band will fit right into this, and she's hot and very interested in making this happen.
Right on, right on. Well, and see, Lonnie's so well respected by
Oh,
so
yes.
many other musicians. When he
Oh,
walks in a
yes.
room, they come over to him
Yes.
and
Yes.
kiss the ring, basically.
Yes. Remember your birthday party?
I know,
And he
right?
came, and
I was
even,
so
even
honored.
Dan, I was like, I'm waiting for Lonnie. He's like, Lonnie is coming tonight? I'm like, yes.
Not getting paid,
for
but he's showing up
Marlee's
for my birthday
party.
right?
And yeah, and they
That was
treated
very
him
sweet.
like a king because he has been doing so much with his music, with his life here in Seattle and abroad.
And he walks around with wisdom. He just
Exactly,
emanates whatever
exactly.
gem you want. Now, he doesn't
and
talk
he
too
wants
much.
to share
but-
it.
Yeah.
That's the love about Lonnie
Exactly.
Williams. He shares it. He's
Yeah.
giving lessons
Oh, yeah.
as we speak.
He'll take you like this and speak to you, and then your tears are going to, oh, my goodness, you're right. So, yeah, we love Lonnie. He is a great elder to have in the scene.
Quick story.
Okay, and he plays with Leslie Stardust Milton. He'll do that gig on the 27th, no
Yes,
doubt.
yes.
I love it when they go back and forth. Go ahead,
Yes.
tell me a story.
Quick story. When I came to Seattle from Hurricane Katrina, the anger and hurt, and I met you, and you said, I know this guy, and he's from Beaumont, Texas.
Right, where you're from.
Where I'm from. And I'm like, what? So I go in, and he says to me the second time, he's like, you got too much anger. You're not ready.
He saw right through you,
And
didn't he?
I was so mad at him. I politely walked out. I didn't stomp out because I was just meeting people.
You knew he was right.
But
He hit a nerve.
He made me so mad. And like when we went to your birthday party, and he sat there and he looked at me, and I'm like, what's going on with you? He says, you're ready. You and Marlee are ready.
Yeah,
And I'm like, what? And
He-
it gave me chills.
I know, right?
You see, because for someone of his knowledge, from playing at Pike Market in the sun, like in the summertime,
Or-
to being one of the most respected musicians all over Washington,
yeah,
not
yeah.
just Seattle.
Oh, when I did my calendar, my Blue Studio calendar on my radio show, it was practically every Sunday that I would mention Lonnie playing in Pioneer Square at one venue or another,
That's
Old Timer,
right.
whatever it was. It was like he was there every week,
Yes.
so reliable and such
Yes.
good music that they just didn't even question mark his being there. He was an institution in Pioneer Square,
Yes.
so it's really sad not to have that Pioneer Square
Yes.
infrastructure that we
Yes.
did have. We're looking to get it back, people. Let's
Hopefully,
make
yes,
Seattle
they're
a
working
music
on
town
it.
again.
And that was the haven for live, real music.
Right. Ever since it was
You
dirt
know,
down there, I mean, they've been having live
but
music.
then COVID came, and it shut down all the little bitty venues that were striving on the nightly.
But shouldn't this be
audience.
the Roaring Twenties? I mean, that's what happened after the last pandemic. We had
Hopefully
the
it's
Roaring
coming
Twenties.
back.
So
Yeah.
let's happen. Let's make it
Yes.
roaring up in here.
Yes,
I
yes.
do play I was playing every Thursday. Now it's going to be every Friday, but I'm going to take July off. So Thursdays, no longer Fridays. Free Fry Bread Fridays is when I'm going to be playing up at the
Nacho Mama.
Nacho Mama's Free Fry Bread Friday Cafe in White Center. So come join me, play some music on Friday, and get some fry bread. And that'll start in August after Port Townsend. I'm going to get better because I play a lot up there. I get more calluses than I even want. It
Yes.
hurts by the end of the week. But
Yes.
but I also play piano. I kind of break it up and sing with the gospel choir. It's so much
Okay.
fun. It is
Cool.
the best week. You should try it, buddy. I know it's not
Yes.
R&B. It's not soul.
Well, I
Vicky always told me that. She's like, well, it's not my kind of music.
Yes.
And I thought, oh, but
well,
there's
I
so much
come
moving.
from, gospel.
Right.
My uncle started in gospel.
And it's the roots
know?
of the music that we love. So I
Yes.
mean, there are definitely connections. It's
Yes.
like you see young people carrying this tradition on. You're inspired. You're inspired.
Yes.
So talk to me about the Mariners. You're going to the game today.
Well, no, not the Mariners. I am going to the WNBA.
Oh, you're going to see some
I'm
basketball.
going to see some basketball.
The Storm and then the Rain are playing
We're
today
playing
too.
basket.
We got soccer today too. Same time. I don't know why they put the women against each other. Same clock.
Yes.
Don't they usually make the men's sports like, okay, we're
No,
gonna
no,
do
no,
this,
no, no,
and
no,
then
no,
we're
no,
gonna do
no.
that.
They might try,
They
but
put the whistle,
right
then they
now
won't succeed.
it's too much going on. See, if the season would have ended for them here and there, it would be done. But we still have the Mariners. We still have soccer. We have the Storm, who is getting so much attention.
I know.
I went to the game Friday.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yes.
Up there in Everett? Is that where they play?
It was at Climate Pledge.
Oh, here, downtown.
Yes, here, and you could park anywhere on Harrison anytime on the weekend. Now, it's a radius of maybe 6 blocks
Oh, wow.
to just find a parking spot for this. It's blowing up, and then Angel Reese. She was Caitlin Clark. Then you had Angel Reese, number one and number. I get to see Angel Reese play.
Cool.
She looks like she's so tall, like I would be a midget. But the only thing I can't understand, I'm old school, Marlee. I can't understand how she makes the shots with those eyelashes. Her eyelashes are so long. I'm like, I would be like trying to look through my eyelashes.
She's used to them. She's used
But
to them.
she is so
She probably would miss
good.
if they weren't there.
She is so precise. I mean, every move she make is for a reason on the court. I'm like, look at this.
Intention. She lives with
And-
intention.
Oh my.
You know,
Oh,
all those
my.
blues women, Bessie Smith and all, they all lived with intention. They had their hand on their hip, and
That's
you
right.
don't even cross them. So
That's
she's
right.
kind of that way on the basketball court.
That's
you know,
right.
that's what we got.
That's right.
We have great shows archived on our YouTube channel. So go to YouTube, search for either Blues to Do or the Seattle Drum School. You can see our past shows with Lizzie Sunshine, Tim Scott from Red House and the Reputations and all that. Leslie Stardust Milton was on our show with Lady Keys. That's a keeper. Curtis Seals, great keyboard player. He was on our show. So lots of great shows. C.T. Thompson is going to play on Beacon Hill on the 25th of July. And I'm going to open for him. I'm going to play 2 songs and then introduce him, MC. So looking forward to that show. That'll be kind of me breaking my cherry, if you
Yes.
will,
I'll
performing
be
in
there.
front of people in
I'll
a
be there.
festival.
I wanna see
So
this
looking
live.
forward to this. Yeah, and Bunny, you've done a number of shows with me. Thank you so much for being here today.
Always.
Patty Allen was our very first show. Give a listen to that. Septimus, of course, a wonderful evening or show. That was Herman and Coleman and Ronald Brown all together. Annette Tabarn was on our show. The Blues in Schools is her project. We're going to talk more about that in the future.
Yes.
Butch Harrison, Jay Hollingsworth, Jerry
Phyllis.
Miller. Jerry was awesome. By the way, he's celebrating his 80th birthday this week. He is part of Moby Grape, you know, that whole...
Yes,
I'm going to take him
yes.
some grape Jello shots. Kind of cool everybody down, right? Grape Jello shots. Okay.
Yes.
So follow me around. We're all about a good time,
It is
huh,
hot
buddy?
in Seattle.
I know, right? We're finally catching up to the rest of the planet. We're so lucky. We're
Oh,
so
man.
lucky.
We're, understand this. I said this to my brother in Houston.
Ooh.
They woke up this morning in Houston at 6 a.m. to 93 degrees.
Ow.
That's not even...
It's going to get
Daylight,
hotter.
yeah.
Right. I do my
And
work in the morning.
I
and
said,
it's-
wow. I said, well, we're hot too. We're looking at like 85. My brother was like,
In the
okay,
thick
for
of the
real.
day. Right.
Yes, we have the best weather, Marlee. Even last winter, for the last 3 winters, we had a little tap. The East Coast got tore down. You understand? But we have had the best weather. And
Don't move to
it's
Texas.
so good it makes you scary.
They're on their own grid down there in Texas, so
I
if it goes
think-
out, it's like...
Girl, I think if I went home to Texas, I would melt. I've been here so long, my body is adjusted to this temperature.
This is the Blues to Do live streaming podcast with myself and Bunny Brown. Thanks to CD. I got his name in here. So
CD.
CD Littlefield. Okay, there we go. Christian Sadler, Chandler Dabbs, my engineer team. KZ, who helps us with social media. Steve and Christy Smith, the owners here at the Seattle Drum School. And we sure appreciate all of our guests. It's a wonderful show. Real music, real people, real stories. Living the blues until next week. And Bunny will be here
I'll
hosting.
be here. Shout out to Star Cleaners.
Oh,
This is a cleaners on 208th Street and Highway 99.
okay.
They're young, but they clean your clothes so well. And I promise you, Marlee, it was half price of what I usually pay. And you know I'm OCD, so I always want to
Want it clean, yeah.
mine. Yeah. So
Well, yeah, summertime you
store up.
sweat on those things that need dry
Yes,
cleaning.
yes,
So I got a
yes.
vest that's like, "Mwah."
yes,
I shouldn't
Star
wear that again.
Cleaners.
Yeah.
I'll take your stuff
Star
there for
Cleaners.
you.
Thank you.
Very
dear.
good.
All right, we're looking for new sponsors. Thanks again to Mitch's Best Buffalo Sauce with just the right heat and just the right bite. All right. Stay cool. Live in the blues until next week. Thanks again.